Hello everyone, welcome to our chemistry channel ChemPhilly. We have started discussing term 1 syllabus as per CBSE. So the link is given in the description box. Please go through it. Today we are going to start chapter number 3, that is metals and non-metals. We will discuss some standalone MCQ and fill in the blanks type question today. So let's get started. So here this is the first question for you, that which of the following metal is a non-conductor of electricity? Sodium, Ag, that means mercury, iron or copper. Now look at this table. Here we have listed some properties of metals and non-metals. Okay, in the metallic part, these are the properties of metals. Okay, so what is the question? That which metal is a non-conductor of electricity? Now you can see here that metal, these are generally good conductors of heat and current, that means electricity. But there is one exception. And what is that exception? The exception is the mercury. So here the option is Ag. Mercury, this is a metal, okay, and this is a liquid metal most interestingly, but this is a non-conductor of electricity. Now the next question is that the example of a ductile non-metal. Now what is meant by this ductility? Ductility means which can be drawn into wires. Okay, so in metals you can see that ductile, so metals can be turned into wires, which non-metals cannot, because non-metals do not have this ductility property. But there is one exception, that one non-metal can be ductile. And what is the example? The example is carbon fiber. Okay, so this is carbon fiber. Now the next question, that the hardest naturally occurring substance is graphite, diamond, silicon carbide or none. Okay, the answer is diamond. Diamond is an allotrope of carbon, and which is the hardest naturally occurring substance. So the answer is diamond. Now move to the next question. That which non-metal have a metallic luster? So look at this table once. Here metals, and in metals the property first is lustrous. What is meant by this luster or lustrous property? That means most of the metals, they have a shining surface, and non-metals are generally dull. That means they don't have this lustrous property. But again there is an exception. And what is the exception? The exception here is the iodine. Iodine is a non-metal, but again it have a lustrous property. Okay. Now the next question, that Rhythm has been asked to make a very thin metallic wire. Which of the following he should take up? Now just now I have told you that usually metals are ductile in nature. That means they can be drawn into wires. So which is the most ductile metals? Do you know? Yes, this is the gold. Okay, this is the gold, that means Au. So if Rhythm has been asked to make a very thin metallic wire, obviously he will choose Au, that means gold, because gold is the most ductile metal. And you know that from only 1 gram, okay, if you just take only 1 gram of gold, that means too negligible an amount, it can be drawn into wires of length 2 kilometer. Okay, so obviously gold Rhythm will take. Now the next question, that which of the following will react with both NaOH and HCl? Now you know that what is NaOH? This is a base. Okay, and what is HCl? Hydrochloric acid. So the question here is that which of the following oxides will react with both base and acid? So here there is another small table for you, for your better understanding. As you can see here, that metal oxide, they are basic in nature. Which are metals? Like sodium oxide, like potassium oxide. Okay, these are the metal oxide and they are basic in nature. So this will react with acid. Now non-metallic oxide, they are acidic in nature. Okay, like phosphorus pentoxide. Okay, this is a non-metallic oxide, acidic in nature, which will react with base. And what is this amphoteric oxide? This amphoteric oxide will react with both acid, that means they can be acidic or of basic type, and will react with both acid and base. So from here, what is the example? This is Al2O3. This can be one example. Now what is the reaction of this Al2O3? Al2O3 plus HCl. Okay, it will react to form aluminium chloride AlCl3 plus H2O. Understand? I am balancing this equation. So now this is the balanced equation. So this is the reaction of aluminium oxide with what? With HCl. Okay, and another reaction, that aluminium oxide will react with NaOH. So what we will get? We will get sodium aluminate. We will get sodium aluminate NaAlO2 plus H2O. So it can react with both acid and base, and not only Al2O3. Okay, this ZnO also can act as a very good amphoteric oxide. So these two are the options here, Al2O3 and ZnO. If in place of Al2O3 you will take zinc, zinc will again react with HCl and NaOH. And what are the products? We will get zinc chloride when zinc will react with HCl, and we will get NaZnO2. This is sodium zincate. So these two are the options. Now move to the next question. Which of the following metal is a common for both brass and bronze? Now what is this brass and bronze? This brass and bronze are nothing but the alloys. What are alloys? Alloys are the homogeneous mixture of one metal with another metal or with a non-metal. So for brass, what are the components? For brass, the components are copper and zinc. And for bronze, what are the components? The components are copper and tin, Sn. Okay, so which element is common for both brass and bronze? Yes, this is copper. Now the next question, that which of the following metal is obtained in free state? So for this you have to know the reactivity series. So this is the metal reactivity series. Now what is this series? Here the metals are arranged in order of their decreasing reactivity. That means that metal which is placed at first, as you can see, this is potassium. This is the most reactive metal. Okay, and as we move down the series, what will happen? The reactivity of metal will gradually decrease. So at the last, what you can see? You can see platinum. Before that, Au, that means gold, silver, this is mercury, this is copper. So these are the reactive metals, and those which are placed below, these are the non-reactive or inactive metal. Okay, so the last one is platinum here. So the question is, which of the following metal is obtained in free state? Yes, this is platinum, as because this is non-reactive, it will not react. Okay, so we can get it in free state. Now the next question, that silver and gold dissolves in concentrated HCl, concentrated H2SO4, aqua regia, and in concentrated H2SO4. Now just now what I have showed you, that metal reactivity series. Again this is the series. Now where is the position of this silver and gold? From this reactivity series, you can see that this is the position of gold and this one is the silver. That means they are placed almost at the bottom of this series. That means they are non-reactive. They will not react, just like the case of platinum. Okay, that means they will not be dissolved in common solvents like concentrated HCl, like in concentrated HNO3. They will not dissolve. But in a particular reagent, they will dissolve. And what is that reagent? This is the aqua regia. Okay, aqua regia is actually the royal water. How we can prepare this aqua regia? We have to take 3 volumes of freshly prepared HCl and 1 volume of freshly prepared nitric acid, both in concentrated state. Okay, so 1 volume of concentrated nitric acid and 3 volume of concentrated hydrochloric acid we will take. What they will form? They will form NaCl. This is nitrosyl chloride plus 2 of H2O, along with we will get 2 of chlorine. This chlorine within third bracket, okay, indicates the reactive chlorine, and it is due to the presence or due to the formation of this reactive chlorine that the silver and gold will dissolve in aqua regia. Okay, so how? Like platinum, Pt, okay, plus 4 of Cl. So what you will get? You will get PtCl4, platinum chloride, which is soluble. For Au, that means gold, it will take up 3 of this nascent or reactive chlorine. What will give? It will give us AuCl3. Okay, aurum chloride. Again, this is soluble. That means silver and gold, as because they are inactive, they will not be soluble in any single solvent alone, like in only concentrated HCl or only in concentrated HNO3, they will not be soluble, but they will be soluble in aqua regia. That means 3% concentrated HCl, 3 volume, and 1 volume concentrated HNO3 will react and will give us this nascent or reactive chlorine, and this reactive chlorine will be responsible to produce this type of chloride PtCl4 and AuCl3, which are soluble. Now move to the next question. That which one of the following can be cut with a knife? That means which metal? Okay, the option is sodium, because sodium is a soft metal like potassium. Potassium may be another example which can be cut with a knife. Most of the metals, you know, they are generally hard. Okay, they cannot be cut with a knife, but the sodium and potassium, these two are the exception. They are soft metals. Okay, that is why they can be cut with the knife. Now the next question. 2 metals when kept on palm melts are. This is an informative type question. So this is cesium. Cesium. Okay, symbol is Cs, and gallium. The symbol is Ga. Now for cesium and gallium, the melting point is greater than 35 degrees Celsius. Understand, the melting point is greater than 35 degrees Celsius. Now what is the normal body temperature? You know that normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. That is why when you place the cesium and gallium on your palm, they will melt, because our body can provide temperature above 35 degrees Celsius. But what is the normal room temperature? This is 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. Not for India. Yeah, for India, though, normal room temperature is more or less 35 degrees Celsius. Okay. That is why when we will put cesium and gallium on our hand, they will melt, because our body can provide this temperature to melt. Now the next question. The atomic number of an element is 13. After losing electron, it will be converted into noble gas, helium, neon, argon or xenon. Now for 13. Suppose the element is X, so and it is 13. So what should be the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 3. So 3 electron is there in its outermost or valence shell. So it can lose this 3 electron. Now if it loses this 3 electron, what we will get? The configuration will be now 2, 8. Now the 2, 8. What is the that means for which noble gas you will get 2, 8 configuration? Now look at the table. You will get this 2, 8 electronic configuration for neon. Okay, so the answer here is the neon. Now the next question. That during galvanization, dash is coated over another metal. This is answer is zinc, Zinc. Okay, symbol is Zn. Now next question. Ionic salts conduct electricity in solid state, molten state, aqueous solution, or both B and C. So ionic salt means, suppose I am taking NaCl. So here the Na plus ions are there. Okay, and here the Cl minus ions are there. So there is a very strong electrostatic force of attraction between this positively charged cation and negative charged anion. Very strong electrostatic force of attraction is there. That is why in solid state it cannot conduct electricity, because for conduction of electricity free ions are the must. But in molten state what will happen? You will give NaCl the energy to melt, and it is in this high temperature that the bond between Na plus or Cl minus will break down. Now what will happen? All the Na plus and all the Cl minus ions will be free. Okay, and these free ions only can conduct electricity. Same with aqueous solution. Water have a very high dielectric constant. That means water can effectively weaken the bond, the electrostatic force of attraction between Na plus and Cl minus. So the bond will weaken, that means ions will be free. So ionic salts both in molten and in aqueous solution can conduct electricity. So the option D is the correct option. And this is the question. Next question. Metal can produce hydrogen on reacting with acids that are placed. So these metals, here in this reactivity series you can see that these are the metals, this is hydrogen, again these are another metals. So those metals which are placed above hydrogen, these are more reactive than hydrogen, and only these metals will produce hydrogen on reacting with acid. But those metals which are placed below hydrogen, they are less reactive than hydrogen. So they will not produce hydrogen gas on reacting with acid. Understand? So the metals that are placed above hydrogen, only them can produce hydrogen on reacting with acid. So the option here is above. Okay. So we have completed this standalone MCQs for this chapter, metals and non-metals. If you think that this is useful, then please like, share and subscribe.